Hello, dear student. We had already started with chapter number 3, Metals and Non-Metals. In this chapter, we had learned the physical properties of metals and we have compared it with the physical properties of non-metals, along with exceptions and examples. Today, let us learn the chemical properties of metals. As elements can be more clearly classified as metals and non-metals on the basis of their chemical properties. So, before we start with the first chemical properties of metal, let us see the activity 3.8 given in your book. Activity 3.8. Take a magnesium ribbon and burn it on the burner by holding it with a pair of tongs. We had already discussed this reaction in chapter 1. When you are burning the magnesium ribbon, it burns with a white dazzling flame. On cooling down, it converts into white ash. Collect the white ash formed during the burning and dissolve them in water. Test this solution with both red and blue litmus paper. You can see in this picture we are burning a magnesium ribbon by holding it with a pair of tongs on the burner, and you can see the white dazzling flame. Now the white ash which is formed by burning the magnesium ribbon on the burner will be dissolved in this water. And now we will take the litmus paper and will check that the resultant solution is acidic or basic in nature. When you will take the blue litmus paper, you will find no change in it. But when you will dissolve the red litmus paper, it will turns to be blue. What does this activity suggest? Let us understand by the chemical reaction. Here, as you can see, magnesium is reacting with oxygen on burning and forming magnesium oxide. The white dazzling flame is of magnesium oxide. This we have already discussed in chapter number 1 activity. And on cooling down, this white dazzling flame settle down as white ash. We are taking this magnesium oxide white ash and dissolving it into water. Now we'll see what happens when this magnesium oxide ash is dissolved in water. Now we'll see here the reaction which is taking place. You can observe this reaction, it is a type of combination reaction. Magnesium oxide, when dissolved into water, it reacts to form magnesium hydroxide. Now we will discuss that what happens when the same type of reaction is taking place with the non-metals. So here we are discussing the non-metals sulfur. We'll take some amount of sulfur powder and we'll place it into a test tube. We will now discuss what happens when the same type of reaction is taking place when we are taking a non-metal. Here we are taking the example of sulfur powder. First heating it in the presence of air and then treating it with water. What do we observe? As you can see here, some amount of sulfur is taken and it is being heated. As a result of heating the sulfur, the fumes are evolved from it. We can collect these fumes into the container which is having the water into it so that the fumes will dissolve into the water. This solution of water, now we'll place the litmus paper in it and we'll find out whether the solution is acidic or basic in nature. With the red litmus paper, there will be no change. But when we will test with the blue litmus paper, the blue litmus paper will turn to red. Let us now see the reaction which is been taking place here. Sulfur, on reacting with oxygen, first forms sulfur dioxide. As you can see here, the sulfur dioxide which is formed over here. The sulfur dioxide on further reaction with oxygen forms sulfur trioxide. Sulfur trioxide on dissolving into water react with it to form the sulfuric acid H2SO4. Now what we conclude from this activity 3.8 is that most of the metal give rise to basic oxide. Here in this case we have taken the example of magnesium oxide. It is basic in nature. As we have tested with the litmus paper, the red litmus paper has turned to blue. While most of the non-metals produces acidic oxide. Here we have taken the example of sulfur. On reacting with oxygen, it is forming sulfur dioxide and further reaction forms sulfur trioxide. This when dissolved in water and tested with the litmus paper, the blue litmus paper has changed to red. Children, in the second chapter of chemistry, we had discussed the acid rain. Same type of reaction is taking place in nature also. Students, in chapter number 2 of chemistry, acid, base and salt, we had also discussed acid rain. Sulfur reacting with oxygen forming the harmful gas sulfur dioxide, which when released into the atmosphere combines with the water to form the acids like sulfurous or sulfuric acid. This acid dissolved in water and falls as acid rain. Let us now learn more about the metal oxide. So for this we are going to study the chemical reaction metals when reacting with oxygen. That is what happens when metals are burnt in air. Let us here again we are going to discuss activity 3.9. Collect few samples of metals. We can take metals like magnesium, copper, aluminium, iron for this activity. Now, hold any of the sample of the metal. Let us take first magnesium with a pair of tongs and try burning it over a flame. Now, as we have done this experiment, we can repeat the same experiment by taking the other metal sample, holding them with a pair of tongs and try burning them over a flame. Whatever product we are getting in these metal sample burning, we can collect the product if it is formed. Let the products and the metal surface cool down. Now we can make a table and can write a conclusion of this activity. We can write which metal burns easily, what flame colors we observe when the metals are burning, how does a metal surface appear after burning, and then we can make a record and arrange the metals in the decreasing order of their reactivity towards the oxygen. We can also write the product which are soluble in water. Let us see what happens when we are taking different metal sample and burning them over the flame. It is obvious that all these are metals, so they will react with the oxygen in the air, forming metal oxide. Let us see what happens in each case. Let us first discuss magnesium reacting with oxygen over a flame. As we have already discussed that magnesium ribbon on burning over a flame will react with the oxygen and will produce the white dazzling flame which on cooling converted into white ash. This white ash is magnesium oxide. Magnesium is highly reactive metal. As soon as it comes in contact with oxygen, it burns, producing magnesium oxide. Let us take another example, copper. Copper is least reactive. It does not burn, but the hot metal is coated with a black colored layer of copper oxide when it comes in contact with the oxygen in air. But the reactivity of copper with oxygen is low. Let us now discuss another metal, iron. Iron also reacts with oxygen in air to form iron oxide. A brown colored iron oxide is formed as a product. The rate of reaction is slow. Let us now discuss the case of aluminium. Aluminium reacts with oxygen and forms aluminium oxide. Sodium is a reactive metal and so it will react with the oxygen even at the room temperature to form sodium oxide. You can see here the equation given for the metals reacting with the oxygen. So we can conclude that almost all the metals react with oxygen to form metal oxide. Some are highly reactive. They react vigorously with oxygen in the air to form metal oxide. But some metals react very slowly and forms metal oxide. There are few metals which do not react with oxygen in the air. Metal oxide formed are insoluble in water, but some of these dissolved in water to form alkalis. Sodium oxide, as you can see here the equation also, and potassium oxide dissolved in the water to produce alkalis, NaOH and KOH. As we have seen that some metals are reacting vigorously while others at moderate rate and the other metals are low reactive. So here is an reactivity series in which you can see the metals in the order of their decreasing reactivity. From this reaction of metal reacting with oxygen, we can conclude that there are few metals which are highly reactive like sodium, potassium, calcium and magnesium. There are few metals which react very slowly like lead and copper, while there are few metals like silver and gold which do not react with the oxygen in air to form metal oxide. As we have seen in this table that metals are highly reactive, sodium and potassium are highly reactive even at the room temperature. So they cannot be left open at room temperature. They have to be preserved. So these metals are kept in mineral oil like kerosene oil. You can see here that sodium, potassium, etc., the highly reactive metals, are kept immersed in kerosene oil. As these metals react so vigorously that they catches fire if kept in the open. So in order to protect them and to prevent accidental fires, they are immersed in kerosene oil. We have learned in activity 3.8 that metal oxide forms are basic in nature. They react with the acid. But there are few metal oxide which are amphoteric in nature. What is the amphoteric oxide? Amphoteric oxide are those which can react with both acid and alkalis. You can see here aluminium oxide reacting with sulfuric acid, forming aluminium sulfate and water. You can also see the mechanism of the reaction taking place here. This aluminium oxide react with the base like NaOH to form sodium aluminate salt. Similarly, zinc oxide is also amphoteric oxide. This zinc oxide amphoteric nature we have discussed in chapter number 1 also. Zinc oxide react with the acid as you can see here in the reaction equation to form zinc chloride and water, that is the salt and water. Zinc oxide also react with the base. Here the example is given of zinc oxide reacting with NaOH forming sodium zincate and water. Student, I hope this much is clear to you. We are going to continue with the same chemical reaction and will proceed to the next in the next coming video. Go through this chemical reaction and write all the chemical reaction equation in your fair copy and try to understand it. Thank you and take care of yourself.